Good morning. Life's most persistent question is about serving others. What are we doing for others? And that is a quote from Dr. Martin Luther King. So this morning, we'd like to acknowledge and honor 5 of the City of Berkeley's food banks that have continued in the midst of the pandemic. Then we continue to look for the times when people are in need. So these 5 honorees today have been feeding people food and feeding their souls. Let's start here at St. Paul AME Church in South Berkeley.
Good morning. My name is Brenda Jackson. I am a co-coordinator. Alongside of me is Brother Bernard Miles and Brother Terry Jackson. This program initiated back in the early 80s with Sister and Brother Jewel and Joe Battles, and it actually started in Oakland at the Lafayette Park. It was then transferred or moved to our facility right here at St. Paul, Berkeley, where we have been feeding over 500 persons. Right now, every Tuesday of the month, we made sure that we fed the housed, the unhoused, the community as a whole, and anyone in need. We don't just feed the homeless, we feed the hungry. So anybody that is in need, we're here to serve. Our dining hall, located behind me, that's every Tuesday of the month. But since the coronavirus, we had to temporarily shut our doors. We didn't actually shut our doors, but we did have to meet to find out what are we going to do and how are we going to continue to serve the needs of the people in the city of Berkeley. So our pastor said at one of our official board meetings, whatever we do, we cannot close the doors of our feeding program because it is so needed. So with that being said, we put our heads together and we decided we'll just do it once a month. We're not just feed our hot meals, which we normally fed. We feed hot meals to go and go bags, and we make sure that everybody is accepted and receives those bags. We also have, on that same day, we provide the house. So we give boxes and bags of produce, such as turkey, chicken, roast beef, and also vegetables such as bok choy, collard greens, yams. Every vegetable you can think of is given in those boxes, as well as eggs, milk, fruit, and vegetables. So we take pride in what we've done. We have people coming from all over the Bay Area, from Richmond to East Oakland, right here in Berkeley. This program at St. Paul AME Church in Berkeley allows us to go and venture way out the scope of Berkeley. So we want to thank the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King's Breakfast Committee for acknowledging our award. It is an honor, it is a privilege, and we are so blessed and we are so thankful to receive this award. God bless you all.
Here we are at the Berkeley Food Network at Knifton University. The network's been here at this location about a year, but it's 4 years old. In 2016, some people realized that what the Berkeley Food Pantry was doing was not sufficient to the actual amount of food distress there is in our community. So it's been here. It serves about 19,000 meals a month to about 10 or 12,000 people. So what they do is remarkable. And of course, in tune with what we're trying to promote this year at the breakfast, they can use more volunteers anytime, and they can also use more donations anytime. So you'll see the amazing work that is being done here and how deserving they are of one of our awards this year.
Hi, on behalf of the Berkeley Food Network, I'd like to thank the Martin Luther King Jr. Breakfast Committee for the honor of being selected as one of the organizations you're highlighting this year. The Berkeley Food Network currently is serving about 5,000 individuals a week with really healthy, abundant amounts of food. Prior to COVID, COVID-19, we were serving as many as 1,600 individuals a week. But the need, as you can see, has tripled. We are so grateful for a really supportive community. We've received so many donations, so many volunteers. It's just been a big collaborative effort to get food out to everyone in the community who needs it. The core of the Berkeley Food Network's work is collaboration. We work with partners who actually pick up pre-packed bags from our warehouse and bring them to their own organizations where they know people, they understand the kinds of food people want and how much food they need, and deliver it themselves. This actually means that we really know who needs food in the community, and we are finding the best ways we can to get it to them. Our food is often locally sourced, it's extremely healthy. One of the things that our clients really love about the Berkeley Food Network is that we provide a lot of organic, locally grown produce. Some of it donated from local farms and others that we purchase to help keep the funds in the community. We are, again, so grateful to be part of Berkeley, where everyone is so generous, so concerned about each other, and so interested in collaborating. If you are interested in being more involved with the Berkeley Food Network, you can visit our website, which is www.berkeleyfoodnetwork.org, and learn about how you can volunteer, how you can donate, and you can contact us if you're interested in supporting us in some other way. We are really open to any kind of work that people want to do on our behalf.
Here we are at Urban Adama. We're at 6th and Harrison in Northwest Berkeley, and Urban Adama's run this kind of farm here for about 5 years before they were located near Parker and San Pablo. So the organization is about 10 years old. Its director, Adam, will tell you more about it, but they have about 15,000 visitors a year, and they also interact with the Berkeley Food Network. They provide the Food Network with the fresh produce that the network distributes, and apparently that's one of the more popular items that are in demand at the Berkeley Food Network. Okay, let's go on and take a look at Urban Adama and all they've accomplished here.
Thank you, Maxim and the Martin Luther King Jr. Breakfast Committee for recognizing Urban Adama and for deciding to honor us this year along with the other organizations that are being included. As Maxim, you said, Urban Adama is about 10 years old. We've been working at the intersection of Jewish values, sustainability, mindfulness, and social justice over our first decade to try to bring a greater sense of community and to try to help people connect to themselves and to one another and to the earth in ways that we think elevate and make life even more meaningful. Particularly appreciative of the honor this year, given that we hope that what we're doing is the kind of work in many ways that Martin Luther King Jr. would have thought were as important in a community, bringing people together and really thinking about what it means to be a community as opposed to a bunch of individuals who happen to live in proximity to one another. I'll say that after, Maxim, you shared the award that we're receiving this year at Urban Adama, I was really thinking about some of the values that animate our work that I think resonate with what the committee hopes for to achieve in the community. And I was thinking about some of the signs that we have up. If people come and visit, or if you've been to the farm before, you'll see that there's one sign up on our walls that says Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, which in Hebrew means love your fellow as yourself. And there's another sign up on the farm that says Tzedek Tzedek Tirdof, which means justice, justice shall you pursue. And I think about those as really animating our work, believing that we have a responsibility, all of us, to pursue justice in myriad ways, and that we have a responsibility to think about our fellows with as much love and compassion and care as we do for ourselves. And I'll share one other quote that I was thinking about, and that's a quote from Lila Watson, who's an Aboriginal activist in Australia, who said essentially, if you've come here to help me, you're wasting your time. But if you've come here because your liberation is bound up with mine, then let us work together. And on our best days, that's what we really strive to do at Urban Adamah, is to bring people together in community and to figure out how we can work together so that we are inching our way or maybe leaping our way towards collective liberation. And I'll just add that for folks watching this, again, we have so much gratitude to the committee for selecting us as a recipient of an award this year. And we would love for folks to come and visit. If you've been to the farm, we invite you to come back. And if you've never been, we invite you to come visit. Obviously, during these days of COVID and the pandemic, we have far fewer people on the site. We're able to welcome people in much smaller numbers. But you can go to urbanadamah.org and see all the programs that we're doing, both virtually and in person, and we would love to have you come and join us. And I'll just add, because the committee invited me to, if people do decide to give to Urban Adamah, just make a note on your donation that it's coming as a result of the Martin Luther King Jr. Breakfast Committee's honoring of us. And whatever you give, half of that we will pass on to another organization doing food justice and community justice work, so that your generosity doesn't end with us, but is spread out wider and more broadly in the community. And thank you so much for the honor. We really, really appreciate it and feel really gratified by it.
Good morning, Captain Harris and Reverend Hughes. So good to be with you here this morning. I want to just take a moment to just introduce one of our community organizational awardees, McGee Avenue Baptist Church, which has been serving food to the community and tending to the community's spiritual and physical needs since 1982. In a moment, you're going to hear from Pastor Mike Smith about the great work that they're doing. And we're just so grateful for their leadership in the Berkeley community, lifting souls and spirits and tending to the physical needs of our community. So thank you very much. And with that, let's hear from Mike Smith.
So first, I want to start by thanking the Martin Luther King Jr. Breakfast Committee for recognizing McGee Avenue Baptist Church for our feeding ministry. This ministry has been going on since 1982. And we're so excited. When the pandemic hit last year, there were calls in the community, there were calls even in the church that we were going to have to suspend or shut the food program down. But due to the efforts, particularly of our Center for Food, Faith, and Justice, we were able to leverage several grants through the San Francisco Foundation, the Seeds for Peace organization back in Richmond, Virginia, as well as the United Way. And then some various and sundry family foundations. We were able to not only keep the doors to our food program open, that we had said to the city that we were indeed an essential business, but we were able to expand. We've generally, since 1982, served a hot meal 3 days a week. With the additional resources that we were able to secure, we've been able to expand our feeding ministry to 5 days a week. And so now, since last March, we've been serving an evening meal from 4 to 5. And we're really excited about that. We've increased our capacity as well for our pantry that we do every Monday, our food pantry. And so we're really excited, and we're really thankful not only to the Martin Luther King Jr. Breakfast Community for the recognition, but really for the people in the community that we continue to serve. We're really trying to uplift and elevate through this pandemic. We know that there are many families, many individuals that are challenged because they're unhoused, they're unemployed, they're suffering with illness, mass poverty. We know all those things exist, but what we've tried to continue to do is be a beacon of light here in the midst of the storm. And so we're hoping that while this continues, we will be able not only to continue, but to continue to expand and enhance what we're doing in the context of this community. We couldn't do it without a real partnership and a team effort. And so I'm really excited and thankful for all of the volunteers that come and serve meals to go. When I told the crew that we could continue to serve, but we couldn't serve in the dining hall, that they would have to be meals at the back door, they said, "Pastor, that's great. We're going to make it happen," and they did. And so in this celebratory moment, as we recognize Dr. King and we think about what he meant, not just to America, not just to black folks or to white folks, but to the world, and that vision that we would truly be the beloved community. I think that we're trying to make our corner of that happen here at McGee. So again, thank you very much. We love you, and God bless.
Now let's take a look at the Dorothy Day House program. You'll get to learn more about it in a second, but I do want to just acknowledge that in addition to doing the feeding and the basic needs programs, they're a leader in this area in Berkeley and recently organized merchants to contribute to their double helping hand program and their consummate organizers. So with that, let's listen to them.
I'd like to take this time in this opportunity to recognize the Martin Luther King Jr. Breakfast Committee for recognizing us and the wonderful work that we do here, and recognizing the importance of feeding the unsheltered and providing services that are so valuable and so needed in our community. On any given day, we serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner to the unsheltered community. You see behind me, we have already plated the food for today's lunch service. We anticipate anywhere from 100 to 110 people today. Our numbers used to be a little lower due to COVID and the state of which we find ourselves. Our numbers have increased. They've increased to include those people who are just having a hard time making ends meet. We also provide a day program, which is the Berkeley Community Resource Center. We provide showers, laundry, clean clothing, much needed PPE, and a locker program where people don't have to worry about their things getting lost or stolen. Without this program, I don't know what else people would do. We also have 2 shelters currently that are running 24 hours a day. The shelter here at the 1931 Center Street, and also the Best Shelter, which is across the street at the old City Hall. We need your support, and we appreciate your support. We can't do this alone. We are completely volunteer and donation driven. Our motto is what we can do, we will do. And what we can't do, we'll find those who can. We are so proud to be able to have linked people into housing, employment, the simple thing of obtaining an ID. We open our wallets, we don't think about it, we just grab our ID. Because we've had to reduce services inside, we took the work outside. We created the MOST program, which is Mobile Outreach Service Team, and the SPOT team, Street Team Outreach Partners. We go out into the encampments, we bring everything that we have here outside where it's much needed. Your amazing support is going to allow us to continue our mission. And Dorothy Day said, love is the answer, and food for the body is not enough. There must be food for the soul. And we, the staff, the volunteers, and the participants and guests, we recognize that to be true. And we thank you so much for your support.